How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video here. So in this video, obviously you guys can see we're gonna be talking about Nev Campbell and Sidney coming back. Obviously the Scream 7. Um, so be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button if you want more videos like this. So anyways, let's get into it here. So we're gonna talk about Sidney obviously returning to Scream 7. I already talked about that quite a few times. In my last video, I kind of discussed and said that was just saying I really do think that she is going to come back. Now, of course, it depends on what kind of money she's going to be earning, what kind of money, what kind of it's all about the money, I guess, at this point, and depends on if they pay her what she's worth. Uh, but honestly, I don't think Paramount is involved no more. So I think Spyglass is Universal is actually involved now, so that's gonna make her want to come back now. I guess if it was Paramount, I don't think that would be the case, but since it's Universal, I think she will come back. Honestly, for this film, and I talked about her potentially coming back in like her and Sam. It'll be her versus Sam. Um, Sam possibly being the killer. Obviously, that's a rumor that she may be, the Ghostface killer in the next film. So again, it's not 100%, but I got to be honest with you. I really like that idea. Um, Especially if they bring Stu back, because if they bring Stu back in this next film, and you bring Sidney back, and you have like Sam, be a part of his cult or something. Maybe Sam working with him secretly the whole time, and we didn't know. That would be epic. Um, and I was saying that as long as they don't make Sidney the killer, which I've already talked about that as well, that that's probably my biggest concern is that they're gonna end up making Sidney the killer some way, in some dumb way. Like I don't think they will, but we've seen a lot of these directors do stupid shit before. Sorry for my language, but we've seen a lot of them do stupid crap before, and I just don't. I don't know if they're really capable of doing that. Not 100%. I would hope not, but we don't. I guess we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, I just don't. That's the one thing I don't want them to do. I don't want Sydney to be the killer. I just don't. That's the one thing I don't want. And I was saying that Sam. I think Sam makes the most sense to be a killer because she's not really a final girl or anything like that. She's not really a final girl. I mean, she is a final girl, but she's not like Sydney, where she was in um in 5 films. You know, she was only in 2 other films, so she's not really a final girl like Sydney is. Like Sydney's been in the movies a lot longer, so it makes a lot more sense for Sam to be the killer over Sydney because Sydney was in the movies a lot longer and it just wouldn't look right, to me. Um, but long story short, I really want Sydney back, and I've already talked about Mark Kincaid, how I want him back as well. You know, want him to be in this film. It depends on, I guess, what Patrick Dempsey's up to, if he's down for it. The directors. Well, that was Radio Silence, but I don't know what these new directors are thinking. Um, but yeah, even if it's just for 5 minutes or so, that'd be cool to see him, back for a little bit, and maybe like a quick cameo or something like that. Or a lot of people were saying that he could be a part of the film. Maybe Sydney and him both get involved, and maybe that's what happens. Maybe the kids or something get kidnapped by the cult or something like that, and then Mark Kincaid, ends up getting involved again and trying to go after the killer again. It's like in Scream 3. So, I mean, I could see that happening as well, um, but yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do. One thing that you can't do is make her the killer, but I don't think they will. I think she's gonna, have a happy ending after this film. I really do think that if she does come back, this is gonna be like the final film for her, and that'll be it. I think because she's done a lot of these films already, so I just don't see really her doing any more, after this. Like maybe I would say maybe down like the road like down the road, maybe like in the future, like late like in future installments. But I just think that this film is like her very last. I'm not saying that Scream 7 is gonna be like the last Scream film. Like I do think they're gonna make more Scream films after Scream 7. Um, but I'm just saying this is gonna be the last film for Sidney. The Sidney character. I think. If Stu does come back, it only makes sense. To have her be involved in that because how stupid would it look? Okay, if Stu ends up coming back and he goes after Sam, that wouldn't really make any sense. It only makes sense to have him go after Sydney because Sydney was the one that basically threw the TV on him in the first place. So I guess realistically, he would want revenge on her, right? So it would only make sense. So that's why I was saying that I don't think that Stu just can't. It just wouldn't make sense for him to go after Sam. It makes more sense to have Sydney. You have to have Sydney for Stu to come back, in my opinion. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you guys think that Sydney's going to come back at all? Or do you think that she should be just done with the films? Because I feel like she has more in her. A lot of people feel like they should just leave the character alone and all that, which I understand. People are complaining about Scream 3 and all that, that basically that film was going to be her last, and it wasn't. Um, so a lot of people are kind of, there's a lot of people out there that are kind of upset. They don't really want to see her come back necessarily. They just think that she should be like finished with the films, you know, which I understand. But I just feel like in Scream 5, we didn't really get a a happy ending for her. That's just the way I feel. Like I just don't think we that she got a happy ending. I don't think she that wasn't the way to go. That's not a way to end the character. Like that she was just she was just sitting in the back of a ambulance truck. I mean, come on, man. And that's it. That's all you got. Like that's not really a proper goodbye to me. So I feel like Scream 3 was more of a perfect ending because the door opening and all that at the end kind of was a better ending, but I guess it is what it is. But hey, man, I just think Sydney should at least come back for one more film and to finish this trilogy. And I definitely think that this will be her last. They have a chance to give her a better ending. They have to give her a better ending. So that's just my thoughts on that. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think, as always. And be sure to hit the like button as well. Um, until next time, see you on the next one.